No Harvest is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6 where you need to complete a CHIMPS game on the map Cornfield without removing any of the corn on the map. So let's try 2 Megapops with this achievement in mind. So 2 achievements in one game. Or more accurately, when you put all of the successful rounds together, that will create a scenario where you can actually do both of these achievements at the same time. Putting the Dark Monkey as right as possible is going to be key to this, because we're going to need to snipe a otherwise escaping balloon once it gets around this area here. And if it's not at the rightmost point of this little area here, then we're not going to have ourselves a good time here. Round 7 done. Now round 8 is going to be the first tricky round for me here, because we're going to need to prioritize what kind of balloons we want to pop first. So that is those there. We got through the first wave of greens, but now it's the second wave of greens that is going to give us a little bit of issues here. So yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about here. The red balloon here, and unfortunately it didn't snipe it. Again, it didn't. Yeah, that's the kind of motion I wanted to have, but unfortunately the red balloon was in the wrong position there. There we go. That's round 8 dealt with. So now we can put down our ninja monkey, which is going to be placed over here, right, Muzz, and hopefully, yeah, this is going to be good. Oh, place you down too late there. If you want to go for the achievement itself by blackboarding the map, then obviously you would have yourself... Oh, by the way, these are the restrictions I've set for myself. You'd have auto start off so that you can actually use as much time as you need to place down towers. I mean, it's not like there's many places where you can put down a tower on this map, am I right? The Ninja Monkey is going to help us out to do 2 things. Number 1, when it gets to a balloon sabot, it will slow down balloons at any given point in time for about a quarter of its duration before the ability comes back, but I believe that's going to be necessary for like rounds 99 and 100. But second, it's going to help us pop the camo balloons quite early on throughout the game. Put you on strong, pop the yellow balloons, weaken them a little bit. Oh no, blue balloon. Snipe! Oh, for goodness sakes, you're facing the wrong way there, Dark Monkey. Let's just keep the engineer on strong, but Oh, that worked. Lovely. Just keep the engineer on strong. That's good, isn't it? Now comes our hero for the momentum in all this. Pat. I believe Pat in this scenario is better than Geraldo. We don't have that many spaces anyways in order to put down Geraldos as items, but mainly for the fact that we can make, well, the heli more powerful periodically, but for like rounds 40 and possibly a few other rounds as well, we're going to rely on Pat's powerful slaps in order to hold the balloons back for a little bit. Can we get through the pinks on this round, please? Oh, green balloon, for goodness sakes. Well, at least you weren't a yellow balloon. I have a 010 glue gunner down here. We're going to set it on last actually, so that it's able to delay the backmost balloons rather than always trying to go for the strongest most ones. Sometimes that spacing is required regardless of how powerful the balloons are. Oh, that can work. It just feels like there are at times some RNG elements. Even in these little hidden spots, there is just a little amount of wiggle room for you to be able to manipulate where the towers are able to be placed down. So in this case, topmost hugging to the right of this cornfield bit here. Okay, now we want to stick the pink balloons. Really? Like that was over there? Okay, let's put our engineer on first. It's always one balloon, isn't it? Can we do it this time, please? Yes. Once the yellows have all gone and the greens are slowed down, then you've got the round... Oh, sorry, not the round in the bag, but the... oh, yeah, it was round in the bag. I was trying to like run in the bag. Oh, and yeah, Kaiju power is very nice, or mainly predominantly throughout all the packs, rallying roar. Getting that +1 pop per shot is really key at this stage of the game, when we need all of the popping power that we possibly need. Great. Yellow balloon, you will continue to haunt me. Hey, I've seen this before. Put the glue gunner and the engineer on strong. Let's see how this works. I could have done with Kaiju Power, actually. Yeah, that helped out, actually. That was really pivotal for our success here. But now that they are clumped up balloons in the form of black balloons, now we can actually do this with a little bit more precision when they are like that. Great. And we don't start the round with enough money to spawn a heli. Thanks, Ninja Kiwi. Okay, spawn it, put it over here, and we now have ourselves our heli up and operational for the rest of this scenario. We've gone through the most difficult phase of the game, as in getting the heli down in the first place. But now that we have our engineer Ninja Monkey placed on the field, it means we can actually pop this initial camo balloon. Lovely. So how are we going to deal with some of the mid-game camos? Well, that's going to fall upon our engineer monkey to produce some cleansing foams so that we can actually, you know, decamify balloons and let the rest of these towers actually pop the camo balloons, because I'm not too confident with just the Ninja Monkey just popping all of the camo balloons between now and, like, let's say the 40s, because the 30s are going to be the stopping point for us. So even faster firing is better here. We don't have to worry about lead balloons at this given point in time, because we have Pat here, our beloved behemoth here called Pat. He's gonna slap the lead balloons right on back there. That's brilliant. I love Pat. He is one of my favorite heroes throughout the entire game. Activated the ability, but obviously it only really benefited Pat there simply because of the fact that he is the only one that can really benefit from that kind of slappage. Around 32. You know what? I'm actually going to be safe. I'm going to hold back from Razor Rotors till this given point in time. We're just going to go straight to Cleansing Foam. I'm going to put that over here for the meantime, but when we hit the camo rounds, that's when we're going to deploy the Cleansing Foam onto the field here. Or in this case, I've already just said it, fields. Get it, Cornfield? Fields. Oh, aren't I funny? But obviously with any of these 2 Megapop scenarios, we are going to require an overclock here. Well, it's not required for 2 Megapops. I'm talking about you, Spirit of the Forest, but it is highly advisable getting an overclock for that dramatic increase in your fire rate. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, I forgot about these camo regrow greens. Also, if you didn't know about the cleansing foam, it removes both the regrow status and the camo status from balloons, and by default pops leads as well, but we don't need to worry about the lead property anymore. You are always going to haunt me, camos. I wasn't concentrating there. I should have realised at the end of round 37 that they spawned. I play this game enough that I should know that off the top of my head, but obviously there are things in which we do forget. But obviously there are people that think that content creators are perfect and in their field of hobbies. I'm not. We needed the helipad as north as possible, otherwise if we spawn any further south, and this village would not be able to fit here, which is obviously very necessary for our endeavors here in order for us to be able to pop this down. Like, oh, who do I care? Let's just put it down anyways. It's not like I'm going to fit another tower here. We're going to place the ice tower over here when we are needing it. So, radar scanner, so that we don't need to rely on cleansing foam anymore. Okay, so activate it now, actually, while that is within the range of Pat. So it was a big necessity to have Pat here, so that if the Moa class balloon here was able to get to this point, Pat can simply slap it back. It's rather, I don't know, well, a big shame that Pat can only slap back Moas rather than like BFBs. Like ZMGs I can kind of understand since they are far bigger than Pat, but it's like he can perform a huge squeeze on ZOMGs and DDTs if Pat can see DDTs, but it's like, why can't you slap them back? Surely your fists are powerful enough for that. But I'm not going to go into the antics of lore in this game because I think that would take far too long to try and decode all of that, and I'm sure there is a lot of lore out there that has already been explained by other content creators, and I'm not the lore kind of guy. But although it is fascinating, it's not something that I delve into in my videos, like the balloon language. Balloonish? I think we should have used his ability when the ceramics appear on this round. Yeah, ceramics appear on this round, but thanks to the glue gunner, they are slowed down a little bit. Enough so that they don't go sporadically out of control. Here we go. Need that for venom there. Need some crowd control here. And I think the rest of this round should be good once the ceramics are dealt with. Yeah, these regrows are not going to be enough to stop us. I mean, we are Kaiju Pastron. See how he slaps back the mower there? That's just brilliant. Ceramics. Can I afford the Apache Starship in this round? Yes, we can. So next up, we're going to get Overclock, and then we're going to get Apache Prime. The most difficult parts of this challenge have now been accomplished. Just getting ourselves set up here. We obviously do have one more tower left to deploy down, but we can deploy down over here. Yeah, someone did suggest to me trying to do a no harvest where I don't use any of these spots, and I'm like really only using this square? I'm pretty sure somebody has done like a no harvest 2 Megapops for using only the square here, but I'm like, but seriously? I'm sounding like Cyber Quincy now. Seriously? I don't do a good cyber impression. I'm more the low tone, the deep characters like Corvus. You are mine. We will get MIB at some point, but at this given point in time, it is not necessary. We only really need MIB when the DDTs appear. And when the DDTs appear, on round 90. And we're still 29 rounds away from that. It is now overclock time. Hope we can apply before the balloons become too powerful. Whoever thinks that overclock is not an S tier tower when it comes to support for 2 Megapop scenarios, I'm not too sure you've played too many of these scenarios to realize how good a huge increase to your attack rate is for your tower. Although I do think I did give Jungle Drums, I don't think I even gave Jungle Drums a rating because I thought, well, if you're going to go towards like primary mentoring or primary training at the very least for your Ice Town, your Glue Gunner to be able to have better range and be able to spawn the abilities more frequently, and I didn't give Jungle Drums a rating, but honestly, I would give it a high A or even an S tier because for a very cheap price in the increase in attack speed, that is definitely a very, very, very viable option. You're always going to get village anyways because not all towers come with radar, well, with the ability to see camos, and you're not always going to have a map that's going to have water, so you can't rely on submerged to support the camo-fied balloons. So therefore, having this non-lethal monkey village here, unless you go for the tier 5, but then again you use that for 2 Megapops rather than supporting your primary tower of choice. To have 2 Megapops, you want to use it for support for your glue gun and ice tower because then it would still pops. Hope you are having a lovely day where you are, whatever it is that you are doing. I kind of want to continue a conversation that I had on a previous video about my own voice really, because a lot of people love watching my content mainly down to the voice itself, and I'm really appreciative of each and every one of you for saying that sort of thing, or it's one of the main reasons, or it's the reason. But I'm like, I listen to my own voice on a day-to-day basis outside of recording. I know my own voice, and I'm kind of sometimes bored of my own voice. Like, I need to use my vocal cords if I am to talk to customers at my the retail store that I work at. So, and also like family members and stuff like that, because it's rude to not say hello in the morning and all that jazz. But then again, we all have our own different home scenarios. But like, I'm sure you would relate as well that listening to your own voice, unless you're one of those characters that is really, really over the top confident in everything that you do, I'm sure at some point there is something that you are just really vanillaed out because you're just so used to it. But I am generally really appreciative to each and every one of you that watches my content, regardless if you like it or don't like it. I'm just happy that you are here. I don't expect myself to... I didn't even expect myself to get 100 subscribers for what I do here. I'm just a guy, just like most other content creators. I'm just a guy who enjoys the stuff that I do here. And it's really pleasing that you can kind of make yourself a hobby into some form of monetary creation. But the monetary part is always going to be one of the least important aspects out of content creation, because I believe in the prospect that content creating comes from the passion of the content creation itself, rather than it being a factory line production of soulless automatonic creation for the reason of generating money. And unfortunately, there are people out there in the world that have to do something because it makes them the money that they need in order to do their day-to-day stuff, sorry. But being able to do both is a luxury that not everyone has. We are nearly there now to Apache Prime. There is the beloved Apache Prime. And since we put overclock when it was Apache Darkship, this is going to last all the way until the ability comes back. There you go. Now that we apply it to a tier 5 tower, this banner icon is going to go away about like 60 to 65% of the way. Or perhaps even like 70% of the way. I'm still learning stuff throughout this game. Also, just to save myself the embarrassment of not getting it, we're now getting it so that I don't forget it for when we encounter the DDTs. Imagine trying to do this flawlessly, not on Challenge Editor, but normally doing a no harvest, 2 Megapops scenario, and you fail the entire scenario because you forget to select the upgrade in order to get MIB. Like, that would be horrible, actually. Getting away all the way to this point, getting every single round like beaten down, and then that happens. That would be so bad. I'm not talking about the blimp bad, I'm just talking bad in scenario. Keep doing that. Keep casting the ability when we... I want to say when we need it rather than just willy-nilly. So what's going to be next on our agenda? We have a few options here. We have quarter arms to get. We have either the Relentless Glue or the Glue Strike to get. I'm not going to get Glue Storm because I think the sole purpose of getting the Glue Strike is for round 100 to make our time against the bad just that little bit easier. Like, think about the amount of projectiles the Apache Prime throws out. It's got its lasers, it's got its plasma, it's got its missiles, and it's got its rotors as well. And if it wasn't for MIB, the only thing that does damage to the DETs would be the plasma it fires out and the razor rotors. But the lasers and the missiles do jack against the DET here. I'm actually now going to get our beloved Absolute Zero so we can have an easier time now against these behemoths here. Still, this is going to be a very easy scenario now that we have all of our towers down. But I do still have choices here. I could go for Balloon Sabo, which I think we're going to do now, ready for the DDTs on this round. Let's see. Don't even really need it. Don't need it. Oh gosh. Yeah, we got the Balloon Sabo activated, made those DDTs even easier. But I think possibly I should time it so that the overclock is... like, when the overclock runs out, that's when we use the Balloon Sabo so that we have some compensation for that. Let's use that. Round 97 is here. Fortified 0 MGs. You know what? We're going to use it. We're going to use Absolute Zero now so that we can slow these down permanently. Good, 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 good. I'm loving this scenario. This is even easier than the Ultra Juggernaut no harvest 2 Megapops I did, because that was still stressful in its own ways, but this is not stressful. Let's see. Call to arms. Yes! Okay, we're going to go to... we're actually going to go with the Glue Strike route, actually. And we... where are you at? Level 17? Okay, that's not too bad. We are getting the pops. Lovely, lovely. Round 99. Slow those down a little bit. Use the Roar there. And yeah, we got glue. Oh, we got just enough for glue strike there. Lovely. This is just gonna be so beautiful. You're gonna go straight down my whale behemoth fiend friend, whatever you call it. Oh yes, it's bandaged. Let us time this. Oh, I could have timed that a bit better there. Let's see. Do all of that. Yeah, we got this in the bag. It's just a matter of surviving. 2,036,000. What an achievement in and of itself. Or should I say achievements? 2 million pops, which equates to the 2 Megapops achievement. And there's not a single grain of crop removed from the map. If you don't consider the crops that could be here in the middle of the map. So that, folks, is what you would call a scenario where you can accomplish 2 very hard to get achievements throughout the game in one sitting. Now, because this is a challenge editor, doing it like this won't give you achievement, but you would only ever get that if you did it under a normal scenario. But I don't have the patience of trying to do all of this flawlessly. So there is a challenge in and of itself. Oh my god, it's got the wood cow in it. Fields cows. You couldn't make this up. Right, thank you all so much for watching, everybody. And let me know what you thought of this video, and let me know if there are other wonderful towers that I could do a 2 Megapop scenario on. Perhaps even Comanche Commander could do it. Like, it's not as... It's just... No, it's not even as expensive as the Apache Prime stuff, and it's very powerful. So yeah, you could even do that and then have some money left over for another upgrade of sorts. You know what? I'm just going to shelve that for a moment because we may save that for another video when my sanity is recovered from trying to do early game of this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and take care of yourselves. Kaiju Pat or any of the Pats, you 3 are chonky.